I'm here at FI Europe 2023 with Nicole Jansen from Innova Market Insights. Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
Okay, so please can you tell us what Innova Market Insights top trend is for 2024 and how did you choose this trend?
Yes, of course. So, well, we have, as you know, every year we have our 10 trends, right? And I wouldn't say that necessarily one is more important to the other. It's more also about like how it fits with certain categories, or let's say, I would say mostly categories or applications, etc. But the number one that we have identified is all about ingredients. So ingredients taking the spotlight. And I think that trend has really evolved from the past years on the whole trend around transparency, the consumer really to really wanted to understand more what's in the product, why it's in the product, about the sustainability, the storytelling, etc. And I think now we really have arrived at a moment where also they have a better understanding of the ingredients. So what is the benefit of a certain ingredient? And I mean, you have it probably yourself. If you walk through the supermarket, you will see maybe protein in big capital letters added to the product, right? So it's really on top of consumers' minds. So for us, it's really like an evolution. We also compare it with the data that we see in terms of new product launches. We also do our consumer research. So with all of the different sources, we then see what is trending for the next year.
Nice, really fitting for an ingredient show.
Of course, yes.
Nice. So my second question is about star ingredients in products.
Yeah.
Can brands draw attention to their star ingredient in a product that might not be so healthy? For example, a healthy claim in a really sugary drink, or is this a risk strategy given that consumers are becoming a lot more aware of health and what's in products?
That's a really good question. I think maybe if we look at the definition of a star ingredient, I don't think it has to be healthy, right? It's just the star of the product. So, I mean, even if you take a sugary drink, it might be maybe a sweetener, it might be maybe another type of ingredient that you want to highlight, maybe other than sugar, for example. But I think overall, the most important is that the brand or the manufacturer stays really authentic and transparent. So I wouldn't necessarily try to highlight something like to make the product a bit more positive by highlighting one positive ingredient, whereas we're actually talking about a very sugary drink, because that then might actually lead to the risk that consumers do not trust the brand anymore. And nowadays, trust is so important, and the transparency. Like, companies need to be authentic about what they do. And if there's the slightest chance of the consumer like thinking, oh, well, actually this sounds a bit sketchy, they might lose trust. So I would always be very honest, but I do think a star ingredient is what you wanna make it. So it can be protein, but it could also be another type of ingredient that fits the product.
Nice. Yeah, and I agree. Trust is always top of mind, and transparency, especially at the moment for consumers.
Absolutely. Yes.
Perfect. So the second trend is nurturing nature.
Yes.
And this goes into the trends that consumers are really demanding sustainability in products. But how does this fit with the current context of the cost of living crisis, inflation? Are you finding that consumers are willing to pay a premium for sustainable and ethical products?
Yeah, I think your question is very interesting, because just this morning when I presented the top 10 trends, I was saying that I think this question, are consumers willing to pay the extra? I think it doesn't fit so well anymore, because what I'm trying to say is that we have to look beyond just sustainability and also away from the thought of, is the consumer going to pay more? Because the issue is that we need to make sure we do good to our planet. We even talk about healing the planet, about nurturing nature. That's very strong about like protecting the environment. And that's more and more top of the consumer's mind. And I think there's many brands out there who have solutions or products available that do that. So in the end, if you have an option between and it's the same price of a product that has exactly the same functionality and serves the need that you're looking for, that has a sustainability claim, and one that doesn't, the consumer will simply choose the one that has it. So, and I think therefore this whole question on, are they willing to pay more? I know it's important to stay commercial, of course, as a brand, but I do think we have to look a bit beyond and really start taking sustainability more serious than we do. You can see it with a lot of demonstrations, activists, also here in Germany, for example, that are fighting for sustainability and the causes around it. So I think it's really on top of consumers' minds.
Definitely agree. Perfect. So the next question is about the third trend, which is prioritizing prevention.
Yes.
Obviously very topical given the COVID crisis and the increased awareness around health and holistic health and the link between kind of diet and health.
Yeah.
What are the opportunities in this space for manufacturers?
Yeah, I think there is endless opportunities actually. It's actually also one of my favorite topics because it's so broad. I think nowadays if we talk about health and then also prevention of health, it comprises so many different aspects. It's emotional well-being, it's physical well-being, it's even how do you feel about certain choices that could be related to even sustainability, right? Do you buy a product that makes you feel good? For example, if you're eating vegetarian and you buy, do you feel good about the cause that you're supporting? So there's so many aspects to health. And I think now with the new trend for this year, prioritizing prevention, it adds to this whole universe of health, I would say. And I think there's opportunities in really helping the consumer with healthy aging, making sure that that consumers try to be healthy always and not just when they're getting sick, right? We learned through the pandemic that drinking a lot of water is important, taking products that support our immune system, which is also very strongly related to the gut health, right? Yeah. But overall, why not always doing that? Why not always making sure that you have vitamin C included in your daily let's say consumption to make sure you prevent actually getting sick? And maybe a nice example, but my partner, he always brings those little shots, ginger shots or something, the vitamin shots, and he's so we're not getting sick. And I think that's quite funny and actually fits quite well to the trend. And I think this is what we will see more and more often, to making sure we are preventing this. And I think there's lots of opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. More of a prevention than a tackle the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. So the next question is about trend number 5, which is local goes global.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can just explain this trend a bit more and maybe give some examples of how brands can be successful in achieving this trend.
Sure. So I think where the trend came from is definitely also a little bit of the pandemic, but also people, they go out, they discover they're maybe in countries that they haven't been before, so then they want to kind of bring the food also back, because food is such an important aspect of our social lives, right? And with Local Goes Global, we really talk about how you can use local ingredients within those local dishes. Mm-hmm. And also there's brands who really try, and then I saw an example of a feta cheese, so feta obviously being from Greece, but then it was launched in the US. Mm-hmm. And also on top, on front package, it actually indicated that it's proudly made with cheese from Wisconsin. So even highlighting the actual location where the cheese is from. Yeah. And I think that really puts it very well together to explain this trend. So about locally sourced, supporting the community, but then still thinking global and outside of the box, and lots of different recipes from all across the world.
Sure. And given all the trends that we've spoke about and all the trends you're showcasing here today, would you encourage brands to reformulate their products in accordance to these trends? Or if not, how can they continually evolve to make sure that they're always keeping pace with new trends that are emerging?
Yeah, I think that reformulating, of course, there would be a lot of money and work included in research probably to really adjust. But I think what I've noticed oftentimes is just if the story is adjusted a little bit, then actually it works too. So I would recommend everyone to maybe have a look at the trends and see, okay, what are we already doing? What are we not doing? And how can we maybe adjust just a little bit to make sure it fits better? Like if you think of it, if you think of the health concerns that consumers have, a lot of them are weight management and heart health. But those were concerns that we have been having since many, many years, but just the way we talk about it. So we're not saying anymore, I'm on a diet, I want to lose weight. But nowadays we are saying, I want to change my lifestyle a bit, I want to feel more comfortable, maybe I'll go on a keto diet. So it has really changed. And I think often just to do this little switch to change your story a little bit would oftentimes already do the job.
Nice. So yeah, not completely starting from new, but maybe just tweaking what you already have.
Exactly, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, well, thank you so much. It's been super interesting.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks.